Friends, how are you doing? I hope everyone is well. Let's talk about stocks. And it's been an emotional week. I've seen it all. I've seen the comments left for me, the good, the positive, the semi-threats. I've seen them all, but let's talk about what's been going on this week. I want to congratulate everybody that did well in the market this week, and what's been going on here. It's been a good week. I think it's going to continue into next week, especially with what's coming here. I'm very curious to see what May is going to bring here in the stock market. So, most of all, people, be excited. Be excited about what's coming here. So thank you all for listening to me yap here. Let's talk about what's going on in this market. Let's start with Big Bear here. So Big Bear obviously came out with quarterlies here. And, like I said, I was not expecting Big Bear to beat quarterlies. I just wasn't. But what I was expecting for them to do better, and they did that. They achieved that. It wasn't a whole lot, but like I said, I wasn't expecting them to come out with like beating expectations or coming out with just like some insane quarterly. The fact that they even came close to beating expectation is huge. Now, it's a loss for a win if you look at it that way. And I think that's how, talking to people today and seeing how people are reacting to it online, chat rooms, things like that. I think a lot of us are seeing that. With that, it's they didn't beat it, but this is better in a weird way because better than what they've done. What I'm trying to say here, they hit this 34.8 million quarterly, which obviously we wanted at least 35.5 something, something way over, but we didn't get that yet, at least. And they're still on track for 170 to 180, 160 at the worst here to beat quarterlies this year. So the situation, Big Bear today, it's still a wild card 100%. It's playing around this. I think it shocked everyone today because it did well. It did well in the market here. It played around this mid $3 mid-range here, and this is what it's been doing on good news and good behavior. Now, this is a situation of how I felt about Big Bear 4 or 5 months ago when I was talking about it. I still feel the same 100%. I think that Big Bear is going to be very volatile for you in a good way and a bad way. I think it's going to continue to be highly manipulated, and you're going to have moments of, like pulling your hair out with it. And I think you're going to have moments of, oh my gosh, what's going on over here with Big Bear? It's running again. It's a manipulated stock right now. It's manipulated so highly too, because it's moving on news. So you have Big Bear here who, let's break it down. They came up with the quarterly. They didn't pass the quarterly. They didn't beat expectation, but it was still better than what they've done in the past. It was showing, better numbers here. And then you have Big Bear who has been, getting these government deals, these partnerships, defense deals. They have their new CEO, Kevin. There's obviously something going on there. He has a military background. There's something going on here with Kevin and these military contracts. I think a lot of us think that they are going to continue here, and they are so far. But, those are the good things going on right now, with Big Bear. The negative is the one big thing lingering here is this lawsuit situation that they just need to get wrapped up. I mean, they just need to get wrapped up. It's just bad press. It's not good. And I do believe that if that wasn't out there right now, Big Bear probably would be sitting at around, $4.50 to $5 easily, especially with what happened here this week, because they just had another big partnership. Then they had this quarterly here that was, like I said, better than what they've done in the past. Still, we wanted more, but it could have been worse. They could have missed it by a whole lot here. They could have missed it by a few million. That would have been terrible. We're seeing better things happen here. And Big Bear, it's going to be a hard love life with Big Bear here until they get some bigger things cooking here. They paid off more debt. They've got a decent amount of cash in the bank. And I think it's a waiting game to see what's going to happen here. Now, my one concern with Big Bear, my biggest concern right now with Big Bear is that it holds at least above a $3 stock price right now. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Big Bear go any cheaper because I don't want Big Bear to start to get swallowed up by maybe another market crash and Big Bear, lose steam. Maybe there's not another deal here for a while. Maybe there's no news with Big Bear for a while besides this negative news. Maybe investors lose steam into where the price of the stock starts to trickle down, and we could be talking about something, a dollar point range, something in there. We don't want that. We want the stock to at least survive mid $2 range. 3, great. And that's really what I'm looking for right now. I know Big Bear is not going to run, organically right now to $20 like some people are saying. Would that be great? Do I want it to happen? Of course I want it to happen, but that would take some kind of, push by investors. That would take something, what happened a few months ago to happen again. Now, could it happen? Of course it could happen. It's happened before, but what I really want to see more than not, I want to see Big Bear turn into a positive, good, strong future investment for a lot of people, for me included, and all of us. I want to see Big Bear get more deals. I want to see more government contracts. I want to see the CEO, Kevin, make a video interview and talk to investors. That's what I want to see too. I want to see Big Bear continue to pay off debt. I want to see Big Bear beat at least one of these quarterlies this year. Okay, I would love to see Big Bear at least maybe break $190 million in revenue this year. That'd be great. That's not a lot considering what a lot of these AI companies are doing, but still, it'd be great. So friends, that bullet point in a nutshell, that is what I think of Big Bear right now. And obviously everyone's going to be on a different page. I think a lot of people draw a line down the sand how they feel about Big Bear, where they're at with Big Bear. But undoubtedly, I think the one thing that we would all agree on right now with Big Bear, that I think we would all find ourselves on the same side of on that beach, with the line drawn down the sand, is that we're only here because of the government contracts, and there's been so many at this point, and they're continuing, is that maybe we will see better compounding off these deals for this year. Maybe they'll get more. Maybe, just maybe, Big Bear they will get some huge government contract. Maybe they'll get some other contract with some other company that's the biggest they've ever seen. Things like this have happened plenty throughout history with companies. Big Bear would not be the first to do this. It happens all the time. So it's only going to take one big contract for something massive to change here. 100%. So I think that's why I still am calling Big Bear a wild card. It's a wild card, 100%, that this stock could, really change their future. And I'm still enthused by it. I'm still excited about it. I'm still very curious about where Big Bear is going from this moment. It is a risky play. It is a risky play, 100%. Do not be confused about what I said. It is a 50-50 situation. It is a wild card. So, you have to understand you're not investing in Palantir here. You're not investing in a company that is like just printing money. Big Bear is looking for deals. It is looking for survival. It is looking to get out of this news cycle that it's in right now with this, lawsuit situation that like it is just a daily bombshell of, bombing of law firms writing these articles saying, hey, would you like to essentially sue Big Bear? Call us. That's essentially what's happening day by day here with Big Bear. So it's bad press. It's bad looking. It's a bad taste in the mouth with investors and big money. They don't like it. So it needs to be wrapped up 100% ASAP. And just to touch on SoFi, listen, I don't know what more people wanted out of SoFi. I know it's been interesting. It's been a repeated episode to watch SoFi here. Literally every time SoFi comes out with quarterlies, I hear and see the same thing. Now listen, I was expecting SoFi to hit at least 800 million on this quarterly. They did it. They still had a great quarterly, great quarterly. I mean, they did great. Okay, that's the main thing. So we're happy about that. Now, obviously, a lot of people are wanting more. They're wanting faster growth. They're wanting more. I get it. We're investors. We're greedy. We want it all. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't either. That'd be lying to you. But the situation with SoFi, I still think that SoFi is a top-notch investment for your future, 100%. And even if you're weekly trading, you're day trading, Monday through Friday, holding, buying on a Monday, selling on a Wednesday or Friday, SoFi is definitely leaving a lot of meat on the bone for people to build positions, sell the position, and get right back in on a sell-off on a day. So with SoFi, I do believe that SoFi, when we see a run here in the market, whether that's the next big run in the market, who knows when that's going to be, we could see, and I do think we'll see it sooner than later, we will see SoFi undoubtedly probably move back to a $14 to $15 range easily, and I do think we will see new numbers in SoFi show themselves here sooner than we think, as long as the market continues to do what it's doing. The market's doing good right now. I don't think we're going to have a lot of problems with the market probably until July, when these tariffs come back up here, if they don't come up sooner. So SoFi, friends, listen, of course I think SoFi, I think it's going to be a $20 stock. I think it's going to be a lot more than $20 here by the end of the year. I think SoFi is going to have a great future. I think SoFi is continuing to grow. Everything is moving in the right direction with SoFi. Now I get, it doesn't get as much attention as a lot of these other stocks. And right now, what is the main hot ticket with investors? What are they looking for? What do they want? They want AI stocks. AI stocks are still hot. They're still the ticket. They're still what everyone's looking for. And that's one reason why BigBear is getting still so much attention, because it's hard not to pay attention to what's going on over there with BigBear. But SoFi, undoubtedly a bank stock. And obviously someone will make the argument, I completely get it, where they say, well, it's the technology with SoFi, it's what they're doing and how they're going with their direction. I 100% agree with that argument. 100% agree. I'm not walking away from SoFi here. It's too juicy to back off at this point. It's just too juicy. SoFi undoubtedly will continue to grow where it's at right now. Listen, when we had that pullback in the market here, the tariff pullback, it was a great moment to watch how we found the bottom in a lot of our stocks. That's what was very interesting with that pullback. We saw even BigBear held pretty good range in that pullback. Palantir never really broke under 70. And SoFi here, never really broke under $9. It held there. So that was a telltale sign. Okay, SoFi's doing good. SoFi being a bank could have easily taken more damage. It didn't, and look where it's at now. So, I just want to say I'm seeing all the positive and all the negative. I see it. I see it every quarterly with SoFi. SoFi is such a creature of habit with their quarterlies. There's a build up. It comes out with a good quarterly, and then there's sell off. Then there's a little bit of push off, and more than likely, what we've seen in the past with SoFi, and it's why I say it's been a creature of habit with these quarterlies, is that usually a week or two somewhere in there, SoFi will build up into a new price range. It'll find, our last big ones were the $17, almost $18. I truly believe that we'll get back there probably sooner than we think, because what do we know? People will pay that. People will pay 14. They'll pay 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 for SoFi. And more than likely, once things are rolling in that direction in a good stock market holding support, they'll pay 18, they'll pay 19, they'll pay 20, 100%, especially with a company that is so close to getting into $1 billion price range. Undoubtedly, we're going to get there soon this year. It's going to happen. In Palantir, the sweet Palantir. So essentially today was one of your last days to buy Palantir before Monday, before the quarterlies. And the quarterlies for Palantir will come out Monday, May 5th. 25th, and they will come out after the market close. Now, I am curious how the market is going to react Monday. Why do I say Monday? Because Monday is the student loan forbearance debt situation where that will be taking place. So I could see the market being a little spooked on Monday. I could see that for sure, but I think nonetheless, Palantir will probably have high volume throughout the day. And then if we get this, man, if Palantir hits this 900 some change, but if they hit $1 billion quarterly here, this undoubtedly is going to move the gas pedal even harder on Palantir. 100%. Do not be shocked. Listen, I've been preaching this for a few weeks now. If you've been listening to me yap my gums here, I've been saying, it's true that Palantir it was going to find the position at 125, 124 again. It found it today. I don't think 130 is that big of a deal at this point to get to 130. More than likely, we could see that Monday. We could see it by Monday night after market close. 140, that's probably the next step. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Even if Palantir comes out with they beat expectations and it's not as huge of a quarterly as we thought, I still believe Palantir, it's the aroma, it's the what's coming, and it's the fact that Palantir is going to continue to find big deals. And listen, that NATO deal partnership that just happened here, those haven't even sunk into what this quarterly is going to be. So undoubtedly, we're headed for big numbers this year with SoFi. This is the year. This is somewhere in this year we will see $1 billion quarterly from SoFi. Now, will it be Monday? I hope so. Because it will go freaking nuts on top of that. So friends, like I said, I want to wish everyone the best of luck. Big Bear, we're going to watch it and see what happens. I know a lot of people are very emotional with Big Bear right now. What's going on with it? I get it, man. I get it. It is a rough play. It is a rough situation. SoFi, I get concerns. I get the hype. I get the positive. I get the negative. I get it all 100%. And when it comes to Palantir, I get the positive 100%. I get why people are so excited and so willing to pay high prices for what's going on here with Palantir, 100%. And next week too, don't forget, SoundHound's going to come out with their quarterlies, and that right there, which will be on May 8th, that's going to be very interesting to see what SoundHound does. I'm very interested to see that. So friends, thank you so much for listening to me yap, and I'm excited. I will talk to you again tomorrow, and have a great night, great day, wherever you're at. I really do mean that, friends. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.